Can you speak?
Yes, I can, Steve.
So I can't remember how many years ago when you were having a bit of a tough time, and Jeff suggested that you give me a call for some help.
Yeah,
Was it like I think it was about 7 years ago?
it would have been, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago maybe. Can you kind of give everybody a flavour of what happened and what changed?
Yeah, I suppose it came about by Jeff reached out to me and kind of, suppose, said, how you doing, Kevin? And, invariably it got to the gap between what was showing up in my business and my life compared to my goals and dreams. And, he talked to me for a bit and said, listen, I'm out of the business, Kevin, but, um, Steve's good guy in the business. He's doing well, but he's not 10 times better than you. He said, however, the good news is I've spoken with him, and he's open to coaching you if you'd like that. And I said yes. Like obviously known Steve City Solutions days now, 17 years,
Mm.
and obviously a co-founder. So when we started the call, I suppose the first call was similar to the questions that you just asked now, Steve, and that is, do you want to? You gave me the kind of tough coach question.
Mhm.
Not, but it was. Listen, do you want results that can be kind of almost like a yes man and a weak coach, and all we'll do is probably initially it might help our friendship, but it won't really because it won't help you get results. And I suppose it was easy analogy because you think in the sporting world, whether that's in athletics or swimming or whatever sport it is, if coach is just kind of a weak coach, well then the coachee's not going to get anything out of it. Whereas if it's a tough coach that sees my blind spots and also has done what I want to achieve. But he also asked another question in addition to that kind of tough coach, weak coach, and that was tell me a bit about your goals. So I shared the goals like we did last week, and he said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, that how would you rank, getting them? So I said 12. Like, he said great, and then almost like on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, how much permission do you give me? 10 is, absolutely, speak into my life, speak into my life and my business. And again, one is just, yeah, just lip service to this. And I said, I was a bit scared too, Kaz, same as you, because I thought like I put my neck on the line here a bit, but in order to get, value out of this process, I'm either doing it or I'm not doing it. So I too said 10. So I could see immediately where Steve was coming from a point of view. How is he going to be able to add value? The best coach in the world, and, a lot of us on the call have children. The best teacher in the world is not going to drag somebody with them unless that other person, wants to learn, wants to change. So I put myself very much on the hook, put my neck on the line, as Steve did. He said, "Listen, there's things that I'm going to cover with you, things I'm going to tell you, and I promise you that you're probably not going to like them, those things. You're not going to probably even like me," he said, "but you love the results. Are you up for that?" And I said yes. And lo and behold, after 3 or 4 weeks of, yeah, setting out almost like the terms of it, one of the things he said very quickly, Steve, was he said, "Tell me, an average working day." I gave him this kind of 5 minute rendition of he said, she said, and I had this phone call, and they put me on, and he said, okay, Kevin, let me pause you, let me stop you there. So you've got a lot of activity going on, but it's not focused enough. And it was at that stage, and I know it sounds kindergarten esque, and that was, he said, these are the key things in the business: the yeses, number of guests that show up, who sign at those days it was physical signing, not virtual. Who signs an IBA, who signs the bottom of a scoop form with you, who signs, a life app of Vitality. No, yeah, at Protect at the time, Vitality Life app. And he said everything else is kind of a story and a drama. He said, these are the areas that, help me focus and get closure on those areas and just really like focus on process as well and the outcomes. But sure enough, 3 or 4 weeks down the line, we kind of agreed that I was going to make a certain amount of phone calls, get a certain amount of yeses. And that particular week, I didn't. I had all kinds of, excuses, reasons. And I remember Steve saying to me, it was morning, one like this, it was maybe 10 o'clock in the morning. And he said, "Okay, Kevin, coaching session finished. Come back to me when you've got your 3 yeses." So I hung up the phone. And I was at this office in the house that we used to stay in at the time. And I remember putting down the phone or hanging up, and there's this kind of mirror in my office where helps me kind of stand up, smile when I'm smiling down. And I just called Steve every name under the book. The phone was hung up, and then after about 2 or 3 minutes of just blowing off steam, I realized that the person I needed to be frustrated, angry with wasn't Steve. It was, he was kind of taking me out of that kind of, friend zone that, okay, he is a mate, he is a friend, but he wasn't there in those moments to be a friend. He was there to coach me. And I remember picking up some referral cards that I had. I said, right, I'll show him. And, within probably 4 minutes, I had 3 yeses, and we resumed. So really, all he did was just hold me accountable, and it was, again, why do some of the top athletes in the world continue to have coaches? He sees stuff in me and about me, and those blind spots that just kind of help me bring those blind spots into focus. Steve, is there anything else you wanted me to cover? That was really
Oh, you said more than I was expecting, actually.
Yeah.
Did your results go up?
Yes, of course. Sorry, I know it sounds rather obvious, but I recruited probably double digit within. It might have taken kind of like 60 days to kind of get it up to that. I consistently was seeing probably 3 to 5 scoops actually doing every week with 2 or 3 carrybacks, writing about 1,000 business a month. My income, again, it obviously can take 30, 60 days. My income probably tripled in that time. And more than anything else, it allowed me the habits and routine that became a norm for me rather than the drama around activity and not, the closure and the focus. And again, I quoted last week, he said, don't get ruthless with people, get ruthless with the numbers. And I think that helped me create a habit that enable the focus to be, first of all, on me, clearing my decks of my diary, my head, doing the right thing before making the phone calls, which for me sometimes is just either half-hour meditation or go out for a cycle or, put on Art Williams or something just to get my head into gear. And those habits were the things that really helped me. We continued maybe coaching for 90 days, and it created the habits then that helped me. So yeah, it did. It increased my results massively. Thank you, Steve.
We're still friends, right?
And we're probably better friends because I always respected you, but I respect it must be. I wouldn't say tough because you've coached so many people, but sometimes it probably is tough to coach a friend because, so hats off to you that you also reach past that. And sometimes not easy to tell people or to coach or to challenge people, especially if you know them very, very well. So yes, I probably have even more respect for you, Steve, now than I had before. Yes.
Well, thanks, mate. I didn't know that. So yeah, so it is a process, and if you, I watch a lot of sport, and it's interesting. Liverpool, my team, are doing incredibly well, and I know there's other sports fans here on. I'm not crowing about Liverpool because I could also talk about Wales rugby, and we're down in the doldrums at the moment as a rugby team. But maybe use that as an example that that they've been very successful in the last decade. but are now really, really poor. But you can see the transition with a new coach coming in and what he's trying to get into the mentality of the players. And it takes time and it's tough. And that's why leaders get paid big money. And I don't mean in Genistar, I mean in general, in life. You know, and you all here want to be senior vice presidents. You all want to be successful. You all want a six-figure income. From everything that, I mean, maybe I've got that wrong, but I don't think I have. And you all want to provide for your families. And I'm here to tell you today that, you know, today is the day where the work starts, the tough stuff starts. And, you know, if I am and I'll give you permission that if I do get a little bit tough with some of you, feel free to push me away. Don't ignore my calls or don't ignore me. But have the guts to kind of say, Steve, you're pushing me too hard. I'm not in that position, and I will back off. But I don't want to feel like I've left something on the field and not helped you get where you want to go. Because you know, that's not a business relationship, is it? That's kind of like a guessing game. All right. So if you give me permission to push you hard, I give you permission to push me back and say, hey, give me a break, leave me alone. You know, I need some space, and you know, when that things change, we can talk again. Because you know, the thing that I battle with sometimes with you know, within Genistar is that we're all incredibly good people. You know, I've worked in previous companies in financial services industry, and it was easier to be a coach, frankly, in those environments because they weren't particularly nice people, or I felt they weren't. And it was a corporation. There was no. Here we have relationships, we have friendships that run deep. We have, you know, we're all really good people, and that's what sets us apart more than anything else in the industry. And that's why we'll survive during tough times, and that's why we'll win. And ultimately become the largest financial services company in the UK. But you know, as Kevin said, it's hard to coach someone, you know, who, you know, is a really, really nice person. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to, you know, you don't want to affect a good friendship. That's just normal. But you know, you look at any successful business, church, charity, shop, Boy Scout group, if it's successful and thriving, right at the top somewhere is a leader, a strong leader that gets the best out of people, even when they're going through tough times. Okay. So, so I want to give you some tips today. All right. But first of all, I want you to kind of let me know. So let me go. So Kev, we made last week. We made a commitment. You were going to make 50 calls. That's Kev O'Malley. How did you get on?
I did 36.
Okay. Milan, 126. How did you get on?
So good he's not here.
Oh, is he not? Okay. Hopefully he's making calls. Bobby, how many did you make out of the 50? Bobby with us? I think Bobby is.
Yeah. I just saw his face quite short time ago, but I don't know. The camera is off.
Okay, Bobby's not on. IT, how many did you make?
I ended up on 23.
Okay. Is Bal with us? No. Okay. Anna, how many did you make in the end?
I would say I didn't note it down, but I'd say maybe 5.
Okay. Mr. Westfield?
Yeah, I did 43.
Okay. Tom?
I did 60.
60 out of 100. Not bad. Yeah. Alex?
32.
Kaz?
29.
29. And Bim? Bim with us? Yeah, Bim's with us.
I think he's on a call.
Is he? Okay. Sam, do you know how many calls you made? Because I don't think you were on last week, were you?
I think I had an appointment. I left early. My target is always 5 a day, and I generally hit that. So I'd say 30.
All right. Okay.
Probably more, but I'll just go with 30.
Yeah, I'm not writing them down. I'm just trying to get a feel.
Yeah, my target is 5 a day. So.
Okay. Have I missed anybody out? Alex, how many did you make again? Sorry.
32.
32. All right. So as I said at the beginning, there's some really good ones there. There's not so good ones, and there's stuff that goes on, and we have these ups and downs. But the key is to find a way to actually do the hardest part of the job, which is making the calls, even when you've got challenging times going on, even when you've got the children are sick, and so on and so on. Okay, so what the only way I know how to do that is to block out in your diary the times that you're going to make calls. Okay. So you find a time. For me, I'm at the moment I'm doing 12 till 2, 5 to 6 days a week. Sometimes there's a day where I have to do something else, but like last week, for example, couldn't do it in a steering committee meeting. That would have been a bit weird. So today, 12 till 2, I'm making phone calls, and you're more than welcome to come and join me on the call. In fact, Milan, I think last week came on, and Bim to watch me make calls. Bim, were you on last week?
I was, yeah.
Yeah. What did you learn from listening to me make phone calls?
Yeah, it kind of you still get no, but quite surprised you had I think you made 16 calls, 15 or 16 calls, and you had 9 yeses.
Yeah.
And it is Steve is a bit different when I speak in Nepalese, and I always mention this in our group. But now I'm forming up the similar words to the effect what we have in those lines. And I saw you changes the tonality, and you change the words as for like the client, how he speaks. Very interesting. So I used to go line by line, but you changed a couple of things, how like a client reacted. So yes, every day is learning, Steve. So
yeah, and that comes from experience. I can remember when I first started doing it, I had a script in front of me and I sounded like a robot. Yeah. And that's true of everything, isn't it? 2 years ago, I couldn't swim, Bim. Now I can do 100 lengths breaststroke. I can do about 5 to 10 lengths front crawl. And now I've got this swimming coach to try and get me to be better on my front crawl. And she's already said, yeah, we'll have you doing butterfly by the end of the summer. And I'm like, I'm 57 years of age. I can't do butterfly. And she's saying, yeah, you can. Absolutely, you can. So, do you know what I mean? 2 years ago, if someone had said, you're going to be swimming butterfly, and I could hardly swim a length, I would not have believed it. So, the words you heard me use, you will be using those words yourself in the near future. But what you have to go through is you have to go through the grinding it out phase, where you make one after another, after another, after another, and after another, and after another. And I would say less than 10% of people do that. There's a book that called Go for No. Has anybody on here ever read it?
Yes.
Sam, you've read it? Very good. Has anyone not read it? IT, you've never read it? You'll love this book. Let me just get it for you. Okay. So it's written by a guy called Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz. So it's a guy and a lady. What I love about it is that it's only like 80 pages long. In fact, it's 76 pages long. It's an enjoyable read. It's very funny and entertaining. So that's good. But part of it in there talks about, I'm just going to do two pieces for it, which will help every single one of you. And that is, if you draw on your notepads right now, the word me, so that's you, not me, you, but the word me, M-E, in the middle of the page, and have an arrow going to the left to success and an arrow going to the right to failure. Right, that signifies what most people do, and that is they do everything they can to move towards success and avoid failure. Okay. So underneath that, underneath where you've done me, success and failure, put another one to the left of the page where it's me, M-E, and then arrows going to the right towards failure, and then arrows to the right of failure towards success. See, failure is the halfway mark on the road to success, not a destination to be avoided, but rather a stepping stone to get what you want in life. Most people get to the sign marked failure, they're heading in the wrong direction, turn around and head back home. They think that success must be back the other way, but it's not, it's straight ahead. So you have to go through a tremendous amount of failure, a huge amount of failure to get huge success. And a small amount of failure will give you a small amount of success. The word fail may have 4 letters in it, but it's not a 4-letter word.
Okay.
So a good example would be when you go shopping with your children when they're about 6 or 7 or 8 years of age. If you're walking around a supermarket with a 6, 7, 8-year-old child, what are they saying to you? Typically, they are saying, can I have an ice cream? Can I have some crisps? Can I have some sweets? Yeah. And typically, what does the average parent say? They say no. But does the kid give up?
No.
No. They don't care about the no's. They will take the no's until you say yes as a parent. So it goes, Mummy, can I have a cookie, please? No. I want a cookie. No. Please, can I have a cookie? No. Please, I said no. Pretty please with sugar on top. No, no, no. Why can't I have a cookie? Because I said so. But why? Listen to me. I'm not going to say this again. The answer is no. 10 seconds later, Mummy, can I have a cookie? Oh, for heaven's sakes, just take one. Bingo. They will keep going and keep going. But something happens when we get older that we take a no and we feel, we take it personally. Do not take no personally. When you make a phone call to someone, they could be in a bad mood. They might have had a row with their spouse. You know, they may be just woken up on the wrong side of the bed. They may have had a, dressing down at work. They might be frightened of something going on that they, I don't know, haven't done their taxes, or they're just going to say no because they're just not in the mood. It's a lottery when you make a phone call. You have no idea whether they're the right person with good circumstances. They may have just had a pay rise. What the heck do they need an extra grand a month for? Yeah, you cannot work out or analyze what the heck is going on the end of that phone with the person you're speaking to. The only thing you can control is the quantity of people that you ring. When you make the phone calls on a large scale, you're giving yourself a great chance, a great opportunity to find someone that's got good circumstances, hacked off with their situation in life right now, and have got to the point where they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you get a situation like that, you go, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it's luck. All right. Honestly, it's luck. Labor under constructive knowledge, luck. I know if I make 15 to 20 calls a day, right? I know that I am getting closer to finding the next Alan Palmer, the next Daryl Harper. Yeah, I am finding that person eventually because it's just a numbers game. But if you call onesies and twosies and fives and tens, you know, you're not going to be as lucky. Yeah. So that's why I do 2 hours of phone calls a day, because let's be honest with you, the rest of the business we do is ridiculously simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's ridiculously simple. You're turning the pages on a presentation and reading to someone, asking permission to fill out a form, delivering a financial plan that the computer does. I mean, it takes 20 minutes to prepare for a carryback now. And then you're going through a script to get referrals that anybody can learn if they decide they're going to learn it properly. Most people don't, by the way, but you learn the script properly, and then you get 10 to 15 referrals. And now all of a sudden you think, well, blimey, I've got more people to speak to than I can cope with. I love that, Bim. Take it personally, everything, but never take it to heart. Yeah, that's absolutely right. No one likes getting a no, but don't take it to heart. Don't let it affect you. Now here's the final bit from this book I want to share with you, which when I read it for the first time, really did struck home. Here we go. There are 5. So if we all agree that failing is a good thing, failure is the road to success. There's 5 failure levels, okay? And be honest with yourself now. And maybe if you're brave enough and you're coachable enough, post which level you're at that you struggle with in the chat, okay? Level 1 is the ability to fail. 100% of people on the planet Earth have the ability to fail. It's where we all start. What keeps most people at level 1 status is their intense desire to avoid any form of failure at all costs. As a result, 80% of all people never move past this basic level. So if you're in level 1, type level 1 in the chat. Level 2 is the willingness to fail. Level 2 people develop the willingness to fail, which means that they come to accept failure as a natural byproduct of the process of seeking success. Fewer than 20% of all people make it to level 2 for any sustained period of time. Let me read that again. Fewer than 20% of all people make it to level 2 for any sustained period of time. Okay. Level 3 is the wantingness to fail. Having the wantingness to fail goes beyond mere tolerance or acceptance of failure as a part of life. Wantingness means developing the desire to fail with the inner faith that personal and financial growth will follow. Fewer than 5% of all people ever get to level 3. Okay, so I can't wait to fail between 12 and 2 today, because I know that is a step closer to finding my next Ching de la Cruz. Okay. Level 4 is failing bigger and faster. See, the people who ascend to level 4 are those who have come to the conclusion that if failing is good, then failing faster is better. And not just failing faster, but if one is going to increase their failure rate, do it going after big goals that are worthy of the effort. That's why I want that £29 million house, okay? Because if I'm going to go for something big, I might as well make it bigger than my dreams are possible. Then level 5 is my favorite one, all right? Which is what I'm working hard at the moment. And that is failing exponentially. This final level is for those rare individuals who understand that massive success requires multiplication of effort. Level 5 people enlist others to fail, with them knowing that if individual failure means individual success, group failure equals group success. So if you can master this and then start duplicating it within your teams, oh my God, now all of a sudden you've made an impact on a community. And this is how Genostar can make an impact on the UK, on the UK economy, if we can get enough people failing fast, failing as fast as possible. So you know what it's like with a brand new rep. They'll make their top 10 or top 25 list, and they go, well, I'll just call 1 or 2 this week. No, call 25 in a day. Yeah, and they're eking it out. Don't eke your career in Genostar out. Yeah. Do it fast. Success likes speed. It doesn't like slow. And it's a little bit like ripping a Band-Aid off. Ripping a Band-Aid off slowly hurts, but if you rip it off quickly, there's a small amount of pain. Get the job done so you can have a life after you've got the success. You know, no one wants to get to 70, 80 years of age and go, finally made it. You know, you want to get it done now. And, you know, those of you on the call last night, you heard me talk about the latest report from the government coming out that we are in a serious financial situation as a country right now. Well, as across the continent of Europe and across the pond in the States. In fact, it's worse in the States. Inflation in the States is 8%. Yeah, prices are going up at 8%. Wages are actually going down. Work that out. I mean, that's simple mathematics. Wages are going down and the price of everything's going up. That is a scary, scary situation for most families. And I think the opportunity, because of the pandemic, because of the war, which is a real wrong, sad thing. I mean, some of the stories I'm hearing, it's just really, really sad, incredibly and tragic. And, you know, I can't get my head around, here we are in 2022 and people are bombing people. I mean, but, you know, it's happening and it doesn't look like clearing up anytime soon. So my point that I'm making here is that people need us now more than ever, because they need an extra £300 to £500 to £1,000 a month, like they've never needed it before. So what I want you to do is to make a list of 25 people. 25 people. How would you feel, Anna, if rather than inviting you onto my call, if I can find some time in my diary just to do one for you guys? Yeah, where you make a list of 25 people and I'll make some calls for you. Not that you become dependent on me because you're vice president, but you'll see how I do it. And what'll happen is you'll see that very, very few people say no. Very few people, most people say, so I'll give you an example, 320 calls, I've had 150 yeses. So that's a 50% conversion rate. Now, I know most people are saying yes to get me off the phone, saying, yeah, I'll watch the video, but that's okay. Yeah, I have a strategy for those people later on. And you'll see that very, very few people, 21 people out of 320 odd have said no. That's a percentage of 20 divided by 320. It's 6% of people have said no, and only one person was rude. Okay. One rude person out of 320, which is what? That's 0.3%. So it's not even 1%. And, you know, but I don't mind people saying, yeah, I'll watch the video and not watch it, because that means they're not hungry. So out of those 320 people, there's hungry people in there. We've done about 5 or 6 IBAs out of that so far, and I've got 3 today and a couple more booked in tomorrow. So it's, you know, we're going to find the hungry people. I don't know, would people be up for that?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm wondering, Steve, whether I'm just thinking in my head, if people are willing to take it one step further as well, and perhaps listen to you doing some, and then whoever, either you say to or volunteer to do a call in front of us all as well.
Sure, absolutely.
It's scary, isn't it? It's scary, that. But
me? No, not at all.
It's if you can feel, I suppose, that sense of being with friends, and over what you've just said about failing, you know, we can all have a good laugh. You know, and we'll learn something.
I have no problem doing it. You know, it's you know, we want to succeed. All of us do. We all want to win big for our own families, for the families in our communities, and for Genostar. We all need to make it. Every one of you can do a scoop and get a carry back, get referrals and recruit someone, right? You've all done that. You can't be an EVP without having done that multiple times. So really all we've got to do is find the winners, find the winner. Kevin Westfield, can you unmute yourself a second?
Sure.
Good. So I want you to articulate what it felt like when you found some of the winners that you found, because there must have been a time when you were ringing and doing appointments, and you sometimes you got that person on the phone where the lights are on but no one's at home. Have you ever had any of those? Yeah, and and you're grinding it out and you're going, what the heck am I doing here? These people are just driving me nuts. And then bingo, you find someone. Who are the best people that you've found?
Well, I guess Daisy would have been the one of the first ones where I was just like, it felt like gold, felt like striking gold for sure.
Yeah. Who was your management exchange?
It was Alex.
Right. Okay. So Alex was probably the first one, and then you found Daisy. Any others have come in where you got that same feeling?
Yeah, well, he's on the call as well, so he's a good guy as well. And actually, I was using this as a bit of a testimony, but there was a guy that joined about a year ago, did absolutely nothing. And then about a month ago, he said, Kev, I'm ready. And he's been really coachable. And last week, I think we did 4 scoops and 1 carry back. And this week we've got people booked in as well. So he's like, yeah, I don't know how long that'll last, but right now he's on fire. You know, he's like, come on, Kev, I want to get this done. So yeah,
making sure he lasts. Do you want a surefire way, Kevin, of making sure that he lasts?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All you got to do is get 3 people on his team and then pick on one of those and get 3 people on their team, pick on one of those. Now all of a sudden he ain't going anywhere. So when he has a wobble, and I promise you he will, yeah, he ain't going anywhere. Yeah. You know, I've had some wobbles in the last 12 months. I know you might find that really difficult to believe, but you know, there've been times I'm thinking, what the heck am I doing? There are easier things to do than this, right? And you know, the people are driving me nuts, and we all have those moments. But then I think of Daryl Harper, Ching De La Cruz, Arvin Burgos, Alan Palmer, and all the other people. I think, what the heck am I worrying about? You know, I've got my life is secure. And thankfully, the further you go in the business, the less you feel like that, or the less regular. You still have days, and even Jeff has days like that, right? So I want you to concentrate on that feeling of finding someone. You're absolutely right. Inside your team, there are ones that I call sleepers, waiting to wake up. And the only thing you can do is keep adding more to the pile. And you find that gold. But you've got to go through the grinding it out of, you know, speaking to people that just drive you nuts and you just have to. There's no other way of doing it, because you can't tell who the winners are. So cool. So when do you want to do this this power hour? Shall I tell you when I can do it, and then we'll go around there?
Yeah.
All right. Bear with me. Trying to get my diary up, which doesn't, it's a bit struggle. Okay, that's better. Okay. What about tomorrow at 6:30?
I have a carry back then.
Okay, in fact, yeah, that's everyone should be doing carrybacks at that point, really. What about tomorrow at 4 o'clock?
Yes.
I've got a scoop.
I'm never going to please everyone, but
No,
I think.
But that's fine. If you can do it, it's not a problem. I jumped on one of your other ones, Steve, last week.
Okay.
So.
Oh, you did?
Mm.
I don't remember
Only
that.
for 10 minutes, because that's all I had. But
Radio. Okay. What did you hear me say, or what did you get from what I was saying?
it was good because I think two things that surprised me. It was one of the no's, which was interesting, and the one that hung up or got cut off. We don't know which, but
Right.
but I remember like thinking, oh, that's quite nice to know. But no, yeah, it was good. I think what I really learned was you were saying exactly what you told us that morning. Like that was your script, and it was you knew what you were saying. It was this is what you're saying, this is how you say it, and it was just that repeating it, that how it was just interesting and working for most part.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's knock it up and and what have you, but I guess it's this. There, a lot of people I battle with in my own team, they talk all the time about becoming better, and they're almost perfectionists. And I'm a firm believer you could be absolutely terrible on the phone, but if the person on the other end of the phone is hungry and desperate and wants to win, it doesn't matter how good you are. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. It will. You're speaking to the right person, and when they're rare. I mean, let's be honest, they're rare. The people who change your life, who help you build your business, they're rare. And that's why you've got to dig a lot of coal before you find some gold. And that's, Kevin's point just now. You've got to go through that grinding it out. And that's what I want to, that's what I see my purpose here with you guys as a hierarchy, is to get that grinding out kind of mentality inside you. That's what Liverpool Football Club have got right now. They've got a grinding out mentality. And I promise you, when Jurgen Klopp retires in a couple of years' time, they'll be very, very lucky to have that same grinding out mindset of going at it day after day. Just, arguably Man United have got better players than us, but they're certainly more highly paid, but they haven't got the leader, the coach that can get people to grind it out. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to make happen, so that you all become very wealthy and you help lots of families. It's a wonderful mix. Okay, I'm going to give you a bear with me. I'm going to schedule I'm going to do it from 4:30 to 5:30. Because I have a 5:30 booked in. So that's on the 22nd. That's at 4 o'clock. And we're going to do that at 5:30. In fact, do you know what? Let's use the link we use for today, because you guys may want to continue. If I can get you in that grinding out phase where you're going at it after and after, keep going. Some of my guys, when they're watching me, they've started doing it now. And I spoke to one of them the other day, and they said, "Oh, I did an extra hour." I thought, yes, that's like one of the football players in your team staying behind for training for an extra hour. All right, so yeah, let's use your link, not mine. All right. Yeah, Bobby, you can join. And listen, this is short notice. If you've already got something booked, that's fair enough. but all of you have got something booked at that time. Some of those are going to rearrange and cancel. Okay. And if you've got a scoop at 3 and it finishes at 4:30, come on at 4:30 and we'll make it happen. Okay.
Steve, I have a brand new recruit that I was going to do like a top 30 list with him at 5 p.m. Would it be okay? Bring him on that? He's real fired up and yeah, he wants
Absolutely,
to go.
yeah. Let's make some calls for him. All right.
Yeah.
And let's if you can get the list done before 4 o'clock, or sometime today, maybe get that ready beforehand, and we can get him moving even quicker.
Yeah. Okay.
When you get urgent in the business, magic starts to happen. Yeah, because momentum's the hardest thing to get and the easiest thing to lose, and that's what we need. We need everyone here, you know, as a you know, having some urgency, because when you're urgent, your people follow. I'll finish off with a little story, which quite often is in my head when I'm trying to do something Jeff calls a group movement of people, right? In that, back in 1988, in September 1988, something called MIRUS was abolished. Anyone know what MIRUS was? It was a mortgage interest relief at source. All right. Crazy name, but whoever, government official probably. But we used to get tax relief on mortgages, on you know, on the interest we paid on mortgages, but prior to 1988. And back in those days, the office I worked in Staines, Middlesex, we had a kind of like a mortgage desk where we were submitting probably about, as a team of about 50, about 100 mortgages a month. And we had just finished the month, and we were all really celebrating in a restaurant across the road from the office, because we were just, you know, we were celebrating. The branch manager, or vice presidents, we call it here, invited us all out and bought us all lunch, because we'd had a record lunch of about, I don't know, maybe we did, I don't know, 300-400 mortgages, I can't remember. And we were all feeling pretty good, and we were ordering our meal, and the food was coming. And then all of a sudden, someone come into the office and said, the Prime Minister's just announced mortgage interest relief at MIRUS is gone. It's gone as of midnight. And any mortgage applications that are submitted after midnight tonight just don't count. And it's like, oh my God. So what happened is that, it's a funny side to this as well, is that everyone got up from the branch manager, his name was Kit Finney. He got up from his desk and he picked up his briefcase and his jacket. He didn't even put his jacket on, and he started to move. And he started to go. And I thought, I don't know what my thinking was, but all I did is he's moving, I'm moving. I picked up my briefcase, I picked up my jacket, and I followed him. And he started to run down the high street towards the office. And I'm thinking, I was a young in the business. I thought, why am I following him? I didn't know, but I was following. And I looked behind me, and there's about 25 other people following me, running, right? We were running to get to the office as quick as we possibly could. And I had no idea why we were doing it. All I heard is the Prime Minister had done something. And the funny thing is that there was a guy in the toilet, I can't remember his name now, I can see his face, and he was coming out as we were all going, and he saw everyone running. Guess what he did? He ran as well. Now, he hadn't even heard the statement, and he's running down the high street, and he's going, why are we running? And half the people going, I don't know why we're running, but Kit's running. We're following him. We got to the office. We picked up the mortgage applications that needed to get to, and they said, right, you go to the Halifax, you go to the thing. And I remember going, why am I going to the Halifax? And another guy goes, I'm going to Birmingham and Midshires. Think yourself lucky. You've got a Halifax in Staines. I'm going to go to Birmingham. And people were driving to all over the country to deliver these mortgages. And I remember the following day, someone said, what did we do last night? The real answer was we did what Kit Finney led us to do. If he'd have said, right, off you go, guys, go and get those mortgage applications delivered, I don't think they would have got done. But he picked up a back bunch and he went to the Cheltenham and Gloucester and so on and so on and so on. And I always remember that story, that the leader was the first to move, the leader was the first to run, the leader was the first to deliver, and everybody followed. At least be one of the followers. At least be the guy that comes out of the toilet and just follows because everyone else is running. At least be that. We all in? Okay. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. I love doing these power hours because don't worry, I don't make lots of noise, and I'm not one of those guys that beeps horns and stuff like that. And I don't. I'm in the zone, making phone call after phone call after phone call, and at least be the guy that comes out of the toilet and follows. All right. All right. I've got to run. I've got an interview in 10 minutes, and I need to go to the little boys' room. Catch up with you soon. Have a great day. Call me if you need me. Speak to you soon, guys. All righty. Bye-bye.
Great, fantastic. Well, should we go and make our list then?
Are we all right? Are we all set for Saturday, Anna? Does everybody know what they're doing on Saturday's training?
Okay, let's. I think we have got that scheduled in. Can you bring up the spreadsheet?
It's on the Google Sheets. I've got a dash because my daughter's going. She 2 freeze this morning, so I've got to bring her in. But I know I'm doing the main body with the carryback script.
Cool.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. On Saturday, I won't be available. I'm actually going to London. I do
Okay.
apologize. Yeah, thanks.
So it's
Great
the
day, guys. See you
26th
tomorrow.
carryback script, yeah.
Where's Tom? Because he's on bomb. Does he know?
Oh, he's coming back in.
Okay.
Listen. Oh yes.
Tom, are you okay for bomb on Saturday? With Kev Westfield as your bomb support?
Okay.
So Kev O'Malley's on feedback as well as the
Yeah.
next session.
Sam, you're on welcome. I think he's doing an interview.
Okay.
And wrap up.
Yeah. Should we yeah, that's good. So Paz,
Mhm.
and maybe Tom, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah. Do you want to stay on now and we'll fill in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And so we'll say goodbye to anyone who doesn't want to stay on.
Feel free to stay on. Volunteer yourself.
Okay, so presenting carryback is what we've got there for the main session.
I'm on recognition.
This week, yeah.
So
Right, so who should we put on for welcome and good news for the next 2 weeks for the presenting carryback and the DCF and quotes?
Well, who's good at running the main session on them? Like, who's great at presenting the carryback or putting the quotes together?
For the main session.
Westfield.
He's gone. You can volunteering for it, lot.
Yeah, we'll put him on. So Kev Westfield.
Yeah.
For the main session, and did you say feedback?
Yeah. Whoever usually does the main session does the feedback.
Yeah. Quite hard to do this on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, I've got to run. I shall see you. Yeah, whatever you put me down for, hopefully I should be able to do it.
Okay. So we've had Kaz and Alex on the information.
Forever.
Yeah, should we put, let's swap that around a little bit. What about Bobby? Put Bobby?
Yep. Are you around Saturday? Not this next week, Bobby.
The upper week. Yeah, should be. Yeah.
26th.
20.
No.
No. That's
Second.
the second.
Second. So
Yeah. I'll be in town. Yeah.
okay, so I'll put Bobby on for information and main room.
Yeah. Good.
Oh no, not main room.
No, just
Keep me on main
information.
room.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, whichever one you put.
Main room is just so I can move people for breakout rooms.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have people that come in late, and I don't think co-hosts can do that.
So who should we put in the main room there?
Keep me in the main room.
Okay.
Yeah.
12.
I do jump into each breakout room.
Yeah.
But then it's when people either leave a breakout room or join late, which you'd be quite surprised on how many people rock up late.
So should we try and train someone to do that, Kaz, in case you ever can't do that?
Yeah, well, if I can't, I just have to move the hosting over. That's all. So it's not a big issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so welcome and good news. What about you, Alex?
We still talking about the second?
Yeah.
The second is fine. I think I'm away the following weekend.
Okay. So that was for recognition and welcome and good news. What about recognition?
What about Kev?
Who's that?
Kev O?
Yep.
Or Milan or Bim?
Milan. Should we put Milan in?
Yeah.
Okay. And then so breakout room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So that week it'd be Sam would be one.
Yeah.
Kev O. IT Tom.
Okay.
Alex, are you around for a breakout room that week, or are you footballing? Probably footballing.
Is that Alex?
Sarah's got clients, so I'll be taking Charlie to football.
Right, that's fine. Yeah,
so I'll be here obviously for the first bit, but not for.
Okay. Number 11, breakout room 5.
We don't always have 5, but maybe do Milan then.
Yeah. Okay. Right, and then we've got wrap up, bomb and bomb support. Wrap up. Should we put Bim for wrap up?
Is he there? Bim, are you there?
Yeah.
Do you fancy doing wrap up next week?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome.
Okay. And then bomb.
What about Sam?
Yep. Sam. And then support. I wonder, Bobby.
Would that be me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Bobby's done it, hasn't he? He's been doing it. So I'll put you in, shall I, Kaz?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm thinking of?
Oh, do we want to know?
No one knows what you're thinking of, Tom.
I'm thinking about gradually integrating like the group leaders.
Sorry, I have to leave now.
Okay.
No worries.
Thanks. Bye.
Great idea, Tom.
Yeah, getting the group leaders to do, you know what I'm saying, so that they will never be left out. When they are part of what is going on, they'll be forced to bring their teams on.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. Or
So
even they're very good senior team leaders, like how do you call it, Bookie, and you know.
Yeah.
They're very good senior team leaders and group leaders who can be doing some of these things so that at least it can free some of us.
Yes.
That's it. Bucky, of course.
Of course, you know, I mean, they're very good. Edwin, you know,
Edwin, yeah.
some of these
Okay, so where should we slot them in then? Let's see.
so that's after the next 2 weeks, they can start coming in.
But that's it, you can put people on, like they could do any of the wrap up. They could do bomb support.
Bomb support, yes.
So for the 9th?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay. So maybe Edwin might do the wrap up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's generally good if he's got a bit of notice, because he's a bit like Alex. He has if you can work it out with football stuff. So 2 weeks should be good.
Yeah, so I'll make sure.
Someone like Bookie would be very good for announcements.
Share this, yeah.
Yeah, Bookie.
Where would you like Bookie?
Announcements, yeah.
Information.
Yeah,
information, yeah.
Okay.
But in that way, it's going to help them to be there and just to bring part of their team as well, so that, you know.
Yeah, that's great.
We have 30 and it's a bit quite low.
So who could do welcome? Oops.
What about you, Anna?
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. So where is that? That's on the top. Welcome and good news.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's good at main session for DCF quotes?
That's next week Saturday.
No, that's
the 9th.
The 9th is putting together the quote.
But what this Saturday is carry back, right?
Presenting the carry back. So how you go through the game plan.
Okay. Alex is very good at quotes.
Is it me then?
Alex.
Yeah, but Alex pulled a face.
Oh, okay. Then Kaz, you're very good at quotes.
Okay, so for the main session, Kaz for that week.
Yeah.
Okay. What about recognition for the 9th?
Let's give it to one of the new emerging leaders. Oh, I think so. What do you think?
I think recognition's tough because you've got to get the EVPs you've got to get the information from the EVPs.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think recognition's tough because it gets duplicated because you go, good news, so-and-so did this. And then your next person on recognition is like, so-and-so did this, that we've already heard it.
Right, yeah.
So I think an EVP should do that.
I think we do recognition too often. Although
Yeah.
people shouldn't be recognised, but there hasn't been enough done. We're not like pumping out numbers every single week from every base shop.
Yeah, I mean, we used to really do it month end or when it were a big good month, didn't we? We never did it every week.
Yeah, so what
hard,
like
isn't it?
It could be a demoralizing, whatever.
What you could have instead,
yeah,
is you could have someone who has done some good news, and you could spotlight them and just say what was different this week.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily need to be
a specific
recognition.
A reporting of numbers.
Yeah, it could be a breakthrough, really, breakthrough in the business type, or personal breakthrough in an aspect of the business.
I've got somebody in my team, right, who joined the business last month. Okay, for example, she called me 2 weeks ago and said, Tom, I met you in 2019. Okay, what you taught my family is working for me now, and I'm financially independent. So thank you so much for helping my family. She joined the business 2 weeks ago. So someone like that, you can ask her to come in and she'll come and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you understand that. She come and share her story because she's a new rep and the system is working. Now is a recruit, okay, trying to build a team.
So do you think we ought to have the same person that does welcome good news do recognition?
Yeah, that'll be easy. That'll be
because it kind of flows in with the good news.
So put myself in there.
Yeah, but I'm wondering week before whether to put Alex in there instead of Milan.
Okay. Yeah,
just
let's
trial
do
it for
that.
next few weeks,
Yeah,
because you kind of know then what's already been shared. So if anybody got anything specific, you can still put a message out. Has anybody got anything really specific we want to recognise? And that's where the stories might come from. Like somebody might have done an amazing carryback.
so do that in the good news rather than the recognition.
Yeah, but it's kind of all linked into one. So what you could do is people are telling the good news, but you've already kind of got a story or somebody's testimony within the recognition bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my thought would be, so if you haven't already got something lined up for recognition already, you'll find someone with a good story from good news and just say, hey, you probably send them a quick message saying, I'm going to ask you a little bit about your good news in greater detail, and then highlight them after you've done information for the recognition part.
Yeah. Okay, Alex, you go for it in that format
next week.
Second.
Yeah.
So can I tell my rep to come in?
2 weeks time. Pardon?
When you want to tell my rep to come in share a story, because it's a very good story.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that this week then?
I can tell her, yeah.
But what I mean is on the carryback script, because we've got Sam and IT down currently for good news and recognition.
Unless you just let IT know that Tom's going to do recognition and he can talk to his thing. So
Yeah.
Sam can still do welcome and good news.
Yep. So
and then Tom can just introduce.
Start the new format sort of this week with Tom.
Yeah.
And then Alex will roll into it, and then I will as well.
Yeah.
When I do it. Yes, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so breakout room.
Same. Just copy them across.
Sam, Kev, yeah.
But instead of Milan, put Kev Westfield.
Okay. I don't know how to, I know how to copy and paste on a computer, but how do you do it on your phone?
I have no idea.
All right, I'll just type it in.
Does it let me edit where you are?
Yeah. It's all right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Kev, and then IT, and what did you say instead of Milan?
Kev Westfield.
Okay.
Because usually we don't put the person that's doing the main session, so because that week's me, all the other EVPs.
Yeah. Okay. So are you?
So I've been main session still.
Are you typing something in? Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. It's so I put Kaz.
And then the next bit will be me as well because it's feedback.
Yeah.
What about IT doing the bomb that week?
Yep. So it's doing something funny. Here we go. Right, Kaz, is that in? And then bomb. Sorry, who was the last breakout room?
It's not a breakout, it's the feedback. It's me because I did the main session.
Okay. So in terms of main room, you're in main room again each week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just check this because it's got like a little tab over the top of the box with your name, and I don't.
Oh, weird.
Oh, hold on.
I've gone. There you go, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay, so the last thing on for the 9th is the bomb and bomb support. Did we?
What about IT?
IT. Okay.
And we need a guy for the bomb support. What about Kevo?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's get a white guy to do that.
I can't say that. You can. I'd get in trouble for saying that.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, thanks everyone.
All in the mind.
We've done that now. Can you all see it?
Yep.
All there. It's good, isn't it? I think this is working quite well.
So are you going to let Edwin know, Anna?
Yeah, I'll let Edwin know. I'll do a little screenshot of that. And it's
And are we going to get Sam to get Bucky, let Bucky know?
Wrap up. Yeah. I'll text Sam and I'll text Edwin. All right, perfect.
Bro.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Great.
See you later.
See you tomorrow.
Bye now.
Your Highness.
I'll put the link on again, although will I
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah, you'll have to schedule it in your thing.
For was it 4 p.m.?
I don't know if you did 4 or 4:30. You confused me.
I'll do it for 4 and then
Do it for 4 and then.
okay.
Believe
Thanks,
you only,
everyone.
I think that's my only scoop this week as well. But anyway,
Uh,
don't matter. Don't
yeah.
matter. I
I
know my scoop.
don't like what you're doing, you know.
What?
You're still wearing my top. Just as
Bye.
Bye. Bye.